Hello, class 9. Today we are going to verify experimentally the laws of reflection. So we'll take a white piece of paper and on that we'll draw a straight line and we'll name it as M dash. Then again we'll draw from the middle of that line, we'll draw another line in this way, almost which will make an angle almost of, let's say, less than 90 degree, that will be almost equal to 60 degree. All right, now on this line M dash will place a mirror so that its reflecting surface lies on this side and here is the painted surface. Okay, so this is the reflecting surface, reflecting side of the mirror. Now from this point onwards we'll draw a normal, and hence here we will put two pins at point P and at point Q. Okay, so here are the two pins almost at the difference of let's say more than 10 centimeter apart. Next, now these two pins will have the images behind the mirror at this point, okay, over here as Q dash and P dash. P dash is the image of P and Q dash is the image of Q. All right, now from this point, from here, okay, looking at the mirror from this point over here, okay, we will look at P and Q, align them through a straight line and try to put pin R in such a way that P dash the image of P, Q dash the image of Q, and this R and S are aligned together in a straight line. Okay, they come in a straight line, and then we'll draw a line. We cannot draw the line inside the mirror. Okay, so we'll draw the line through those points. Okay, so over here we'll see that there'll be an angle formed over here between the incident ray, if this is considered as the incident ray, and if this is the normal, then this is the angle of incidence formed. And next we'll have over here the angle formed between the normal and the reflected ray, the angle of reflection. So this is angle of incidence and angle of reflection. All right, so what we'll do over here is we'll measure the angle of incidence and we'll measure the angle of reflection. Okay, in every condition you will find that angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Okay, whether you increase this angle by putting the pins P and Q in a different way, okay, or drawing the line, this line as the incident ray in a different angle, okay, and you'll find out that the angle of reflection also, you know, changes in the similar way, and you'll find out always that angle of incidence and angle of reflection is always equal. This proves that this proves the first law of reflection, which says the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are always equal. Now if you remove all this, if you remove the mirror and all the pins from the surface, then you'll find out that it lies on a flat surface or a plain paper, and this angle of incidence, the normal, and the angle of incidence, sorry, the incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray, everything was lying on the same paper. That means it was lying on the same plane. So this again verifies the second law of reflection, which states that the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence out here all lie in the same plane. So this verifies the second law of reflection as well. So in this way we can experimentally verify the two laws of reflection. The first law says the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. And the second law says that the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Next we move on with the types of images. Now there are two types of images, namely real image and a virtual image. Real images are those kind of images which are obtained on a screen. Means these rays can be obtained on a screen because the light rays actually they intersect with one another. There is a point of intersection and the image can be obtained on a screen. And these images are most of the time we can say inverted. Okay, so inverted means it's upside down. Next we move on to the virtual image. The virtual image, the name virtual means that they cannot be obtained on a screen. Means the lines, the light rays, they don't intersect, but they appear to diverge from a particular point. So they cannot be obtained on a screen. Hence they are named as virtual image. And we can say most of the time virtual image are erect image. Means it's not upside down. Okay, its head is head only and the bottom is bottom only, means it's erect. Okay, it's not upside down like in case of real images. Okay, so these are the basic differences between the real and the virtual image. Okay, if you are asked to write down the differences, then these are the main differences that you can focus on. Okay, with this we come to an end of our video. In the next video we'll talk more about the image formations. Okay, thank you.